should go to counseling or like therapy, because that's always a good thing to do, but as of right now, I just talk to my journal. Hello LOS gang and welcome. If you're new here, hi, I'm Sacha B and welcome to The Life of Sacha. Here on my channel, I like to do videos of beauty, fashion, lifestyle, that type of content. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and the bell button to be notified for future videos that I come out with. So for today's video, I'm going to be trying something a little bit different. Usually when I do videos, I just do like a get ready with me where I'm just doing strictly makeup, or I'm just doing a video of just like clothing items and whatnot, but now I'm gonna be trying something that I've been thinking about lately. So for these videos, I'm gonna be pretty much doing the same thing. I'm gonna be getting ready, doing whatever kind of look I wanna do for the day, but I'm also gonna be telling you some of my self-care tips, some of my self-improvement habits that I love. I've been really into like self-care, self-development, self-improvement, and I just want to share some of the stuff that I've learned throughout the years, because I feel like from the time that I was in high school to now, I feel like I've improved myself so much, and I just feel like I want to share how you can do it too. We are going to start by doing my hair and talking about it a little bit, I guess. So bear with me because I've never really done a video like this before, but I'm really excited to try it out. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly brush my hair. I got this hairbrush from Walmart. It is a wet brush, and I know that you can use this for just like wet hair because it's really good for wet hair, but I like to just use it on my dry hair too. I know that you would usually use this kind of brush for wet hair, but I like this brush for just dry hair too because I feel like it's a little bit easier on my hair, but I'm not an expert, so I'm not 100% sure on that, but I just feel like it doesn't pull and tug on my hair as much as like my other brushes do, so I've just been using this lately. I already put some heat protectant in my hair, but I'm just gonna put a little bit more now that it's dry. And then brush that into it as well. I'm a little bit crunched for time today, but I told myself I was gonna record, so here we are. I'm getting ready for my friend's birthday party, appies kind of thing. So we're just gonna try to rush this as much as possible, but also talk at the same time. So since I'm crunched for time, I'm not gonna do anything too crazy with my hair. So I am going to put it up in a ponytail. And this is the simplest way to do your hair if you wanna curl it really fast. So it doesn't even matter if it's like super messy or not, but so just like this, and we're gonna curl pretty much all of this. So while I'm curling my hair, I'm gonna be telling you about my first self-improvement habit that I find has changed my life, just from, you know, the time that I was in high school until now. This is about the size of hair that you want in when you're curling too, by the way, if you care. My first habit, so the first habit that my goodness, maybe I'll just do my hair first because I feel like I have already ruined my first curl. Okay, so it's a little bit hard for me to talk while curling my hair because I like to count how long I keep the hair on the curling iron. So I'm actually just gonna quickly do my hair and then I will come back and talk about all of that stuff while I'm doing my makeup. But this is the curling iron I'm using. I just got it from Amazon, and I also kind of just showed you the technique that I'm doing. So you pretty much just grab like a little section of hair, curl it, and then go about your day. So I will be right back when my hair is all done, and I will see you in like 5 minutes. So my hair is all curled. So next we're gonna take some hairspray and we're gonna pretty much spray all of the curls. Kilo's had enough. So you just take your hair out. It's kind of crazy right now, but you take some hairspray and spray the bottom. It's pretty crazy right now, but we are just gonna let that hang out and it will slowly go down a little bit. So now moving on to the makeup. My makeup, literally all my stuff that I haven't really been using in a while, has so much foundation all over it, but we're just gonna use some moisturizer, put it all over my face. So we're just gonna let that sit on my skin for a little bit, and we are gonna talk about my first self-care, self-improvement habit that I have found has done wonders for me throughout my maybe 5 years of my 20s. Ever since I was 20, I've been on this like self-improvement kind of vibe, and I don't really talk about it too often just because I feel like I didn't really want to tell anyone about it just because it was kind of like inner work for myself. But now that I'm finally starting to come out of it a little bit and I've started to realize all of the changes that have helped me, I want to share them because I find that these things actually do work. So the first habit that I have found has done wonders for me throughout the years is staying active and just going to the gym, working out, stuff like that. So we're gonna use primer now, but back to the gym, staying active. You don't even need to just go to the gym. You can go for a walk, you can go to yoga. Just staying active and keeping your body active, I feel like is so important, especially as you get older, because people think that as you get older, you're supposed to deteriorate, but I find that I am aging like fine wine. I know I'm still fairly young, but I feel like I'm in better shape and better health, and I just feel a lot better than I did when I was 20 versus now that I'm 25. So I feel like the gym is probably a pretty big factor in that, because not only is it good to go to the gym to keep your body active, it helps you with your self-esteem, your self-confidence. That is probably one of my all-time #1 things that if you're looking to do self-improvement on yourself, staying active, going to the gym, and just doing like activities is like probably #1 for me. Some of my favorite self-care activities is going to the gym, going for walks, doing yoga, and I think that's it. Pretty much just going to the gym, doing yoga, and going for walks. I find that walks are very therapeutic, so even if you don't want to go to the gym, if it's very like daunting, which obviously it definitely can be, especially if you're new to the gym, I find that just going for a walk outside and getting into nature is such a game changer. We're clearly doing my eyebrows now. But going for walks outside is not only good for like your health, but I find it's good for your mental health as well, because you're outside, you're getting fresh air, you're getting vitamin D. There's literally nothing wrong and no cons of going outside and going for a walk. And it doesn't even need to be like a long walk. Even just a 15-minute walk like around the block is so much better than just like sitting at home and not doing anything. But don't get me wrong, sitting at home and doing nothing sometimes is the best answer as well. It kind of just depends on what your life is like, I guess. Because I find that if I overwork myself and I just bombard myself with a bunch of random stuff and just like so many tasks and responsibilities, I tend to get burned out. But sometimes, you know, it's just nice to hang out on the couch. So it kind of just depends on where you are in your life and what works for you. But definitely staying active and going to the gym at least 2 to 3 times a week when you're starting is a good way to start. So don't mind my freaking crazy ass eyebrows. I do not know what I'm doing. I tried to fill them in and then I kind of got distracted, so I'm just gonna clean them up a little bit. We are just gonna leave my eyebrows for now and come back to them later because I don't know. So anyways, back to the staying active. I find that even if you don't want to go to the gym and you're kind of like scared to go to the gym or it's kind of intimidating, doing at-home workouts and doing at-home yoga can do so much wonders as well. There are so many different YouTube videos nowadays where you can watch. If you're interested in seeing some home workouts from me, let me know, because that's how I started working out. I literally started just at my house doing banded workouts and stuff, and then when I felt a little bit more comfortable with what I was doing, I started going to like a smaller gym where no one really went, and then I worked my way up to the gym that I'm at now. If you're interested in seeing a video like that of like workouts that I did at home, let me know down in the comments below, because I would love to share that with you. We're gonna do concealer for my whole face because I don't really feel like putting on foundation, so we're just gonna try that. I also haven't gotten any new concealer or foundations, and I literally just got back from Thailand, so I'm gonna be having to use a lot of bronzer to kind of make my face match my body. I told myself I was gonna get more concealer and more foundation when I was in Vancouver after I got back, but I ended up not doing that because I only had a backpack and I didn't really feel like carrying a whole foundation, especially because the last time I brought it, it ended up like this, and now I just haven't even touched it because I don't even want to look at it, and I don't even know how or if it's worth it to clean that bottle because it's almost done. So we're just everywhere right now, so don't mind me. We're just gonna do random concealer. I don't really know what the plan is here. We're just gonna put concealer all over my face and hope that it turns out all right. Don't mind me, I have no idea what I'm doing. We're just winging it because I have to think of a way to have my concealer everywhere, but not like super bright, because I have the other concealer that's really bright, but it's like white. So we're just putting stuff all over. Kilo, relax, no one's there. No one's there. Really hoping that I'm not late because I have to pick the birthday girl up and I have about 15 minutes. So we'll see how this goes. I'm gonna put a little bit of brighter. Oh, that's not even. We're gonna put a little bit of bright concealer right there. Maybe a little bit right there, right there, and right there. Right there. We are looking like a crazy mess right now, but the second thing on my self-improvement list that I want to talk about is reading. So reading has, don't mind me, I'm looking at the mirror. So reading has been one of my favorite things to do ever since I was a kid, really, but I would never really read self-improvement books. I would more read like fiction, vampire books, like Twilight was really one of my favorites. But as I'm getting older, I'm starting to read a little bit more non-fiction books and like self-improvement books. I just finished reading Atomic Habits by James Clear, which I thought was a really good book. I find that I learned quite a bit from it. I have also read Good Vibes, Good Life, I think, and also The Magic of Thinking Big and Rich Dad, Poor Dad. So I find that these kind of books are really nice because they give you a little bit of insight on, oh, and I'm also reading, as of right now, I am reading Psychology of Money. So I find that all of these books that I have been reading lately have just kind of given me like ideas on how to be a functional adult. So Atomic Habits pretty much talks about, which was probably my favorite. I think out of all of the books that I've read, Atomic Habits was probably one of my favorites just because it was very insightful on like, and very handy and like helpful on how to build like good habits. Sorry, I'm taking my nose ring out. But I find that that book was very good with teaching me how to learn and how to create good habits and just like different ways on how to do that. So I thought that was really good. And Psychology of Money, I've only gotten a few chapters into that book, but I find that it has already made me start thinking about my money and maybe investing in it. And even just if you invest like $100, I find that that's probably better than nothing, especially because I don't really have anything that I'm investing into. Like, I don't know anything about stocks or anything, but apparently you can just go to the bank and tell them that that's what you want to do, and they help you with that maybe. I'm not 100% sure. I'm still kind of learning. But self-improvement books like that are very good because they kind of teach you the stuff that they should be teaching you in school but don't. I bought all of these books when I was doing the 75-day hard because you have to read 10 pages of a book a day, and I just kind of kept on doing that after I failed the 75-day hard. I didn't even finish it, but I kind of took on that habit of continuing to read every chance that I get, just because I feel like it's a good thing and it's a good habit to get into. Okay, that's all blended. I think it's okay. We're gonna go on to some bronzer. We're just gonna use a bunch of bronzer to help darken my skin a little bit. Sorry, where was I? So I feel like these kind of self-help books are really good because they kind of give you insight on the stuff that they don't really teach you in school, but they really should be. So like investing, how to be positive, how to build habits. Like, I feel like they don't teach that kind of stuff in school, and I really do think that they should. The Good Habits, Good Life, or Good Vibes, Good Life. I can't remember what the book is called right now. I'll put all the books, all of the titles of the books that I have been reading on the screen, just so you can have an idea. But I feel like that book was really good too because it was kind of teaching me how to have a positive mindset even when something goes wrong in your life, to look on the positive side of things, because like everything happens for a reason. But even if you're not reading self-development books all the time, I feel like just reading in general is always really good for you, just because it broadens your vocabulary. Like, I know that there's some words that I have seen in books that I have never seen anywhere else, and then I Google it to know what it means, and now I have a new word in my vocabulary. So even if you're not reading like self-development books all the time, I do recommend that you read at least one of them for like every 5 fictional book, just so it evens out a little bit. But that's just my personal opinion. Don't come at me. Like, you can read all the fiction you want, but I feel like learning about just life hacks, and life in general is always a good idea too. Okay, I'm done with my tangent about reading. Okay, I got about 10 minutes now. So the next habit that I have been doing pretty much since I got out of high school is journaling. And I find this one is very, very good, especially if you have a lot on your mind. I find that when I have a lot on my mind, that's usually when I go back to journaling, or if there's a lot going on in my life and I don't really want to talk to anyone, I really should go to counseling or like therapy, because that's always a good thing to do. But as of right now, I just talk to my journal. When I was fresh out of high school, I had a lot going on. I ended up moving to a whole new city by myself. Well, I was living with my uncle and my aunt, but like I didn't know anyone, and I was going through a lot with like personal stuff before I even left. I did this not even knowing what I was doing. It was kind of just like my scapegoat to like all these feelings that I was having. I didn't really know what to do with it, so I just did this, and I find that it was really helpful for me, for one. And now people are saying that it's like one of the best things to do is journaling, but I didn't even know that at the time. I was literally just trying to get my emotions out of like my head. But yeah, that's how I discovered journaling. But I find that journaling is probably up there with some of the best things that you could do for your mental health, because even if you don't want to talk to someone, just getting it out on paper and just getting it out of your head onto like something physical is always really good. And then if it's like really hard feelings that you don't want to hold on to, burn that paper, because that is also something that people have been doing that I didn't even know that was like a thing before I started, but now it's like a big thing. But I have been doing that for like 5 years, which is pretty crazy to think about. So I've kind of been on this like self-care journey type thing for a while now, I guess. I didn't even know what I was doing when I was going into it though. Yeah, I just find that self-care and self-development is super important, and obviously the first thing that you should be doing if you're trying to figure yourself out and make yourself better, I guess, mentally, would probably be go to therapy or get counseling, or literally just talk to anyone, or journal, I guess, because that's what I did. But just get your feelings out, because obviously if you're not happy, there's reasons for that, and you should probably figure out why you're having these feelings. But yeah, I think journaling is super important. Like, if I could tell, I have actually told my friends, like if I had to tell them anything, I would tell them to journal. Journaling just gets all of your emotions out, and then you can burn it and do whatever you want with all those feelings, depending on what you want to do with them. But yeah, definitely super important. We're going for a dewy look because I literally have no more setting spray. This is the only setting spray I have left. I need to do a whole haul from Sephora because I'm out of pretty much everything, but I didn't think to get it until after I came back from Thailand, because I was gone for a little while. And then now that I'm back, I'm like, I really should have done that before I left, but whatever. So while I'm letting this sit on my face, I'm gonna tell you the next thing that I found was super important in my self-development journey. And that is not drinking and not smoking weed as much. So let's start off with the no drinking, because I find that one is a little bit more important than the smoking weed one. At least that was how I found it for me. So when I was in high school, I used to drink a lot. Like, I don't want to sugarcoat it, especially in my grade like 11, maybe a little bit of 12 year. I was honestly a mess. Needless to say, like that's a nice way to put it. I was just a hot blown mess. I used alcohol as a way to not really deal with my feelings, which got me into a lot of trouble. And I was constantly always partying, always drinking, and that led to like other substances, which is not very good. So yeah, needless to say, I was a little bit of a mess, especially in high school. So then when I ended up moving, I was still drinking a little bit, but definitely not as much as I was when I moved away. I just never realized how bad alcohol was for you until stopping drinking it all the time, and just the way that I glowed up after I stopped drinking. It's just so crazy. Even now, it's pretty crazy because I just ended a 8-month-long streak that I was on for not drinking. I got so many compliments from people, random people like I haven't really talked to in a long time, coming up to me telling me that I looked really good, and it's crazy that they could see a difference in me not drinking. So one of the most important things about drinking is you're literally drinking. Sorry, I'm gonna put my nose ring in first. So drinking, it's crazy how normalized it is in our society, because it is actually so bad for you. There's so, like, not only do you make like yourself look silly if you are drinking too much, and it leads to bad decisions sometimes, you're also drinking empty calories. Like, the first thing that I noticed when I stopped drinking was I lost quite a bit of like weight in my face, in my stomach, just like all over. I just feel like I looked a lot healthier after I stopped drinking. So yeah, one of the first things that I noticed when I stopped drinking was I lost a lot of weight, just like in my face, in my body. And Honestly, like having a few drinks here and there is never bad. Well, not always bad. It can be bad, but smoking weed, I just recently stopped smoking weed and I found that I have less anxiety, I'm less like antisocial, I'm less awkward in group settings, so I find that smoking weed kind of just helped me with my anxiety. So if you have problems with anxiety and you smoke weed, maybe wean off of it a little bit and see how you feel after that. But I'm running out of time, so the last one is self-care, which everyone has their own opinion on self-care and everyone has their own versions of self-care. For me, this is self-care, just talking about my feelings, doing my makeup, feeling pretty, and that's okay. But whatever you find is self-care for you, do it. If self-care is relaxing on the couch and reading a book, do it. If self-care is doing your makeup and making you feel like a bad bitch, do it. And if your version of self-care is literally just washing your face and doing all of the skincare that I see all over TikTok all the time, you freaking do it, because good for you. And self-care can literally be anything. I'm pretty sure that self-care, all of these things that I've talked about in this video today are part of self-care, so self-improvement, self-care. But I am running out of time, so I'm gonna quickly show you my outfit before I leave. Okay, well, I'm pretty much ready. I love this like combo. I've worn this once before I left, but I loved it so much I wanted to wear it again. And I am wearing some flared pants with heels. If you like this video, definitely let me know down in the comments below, because I'm thinking that I want to do videos more like this, because I really do like getting ready and just like looking cute, but I'm also really into like self-development and self-improvement and self-care. So like I said, if you like videos like this, definitely let me know down in the comments, because I'm thinking of doing a lot of videos like this in the future, so definitely let me know. But I am out of time. I am probably gonna be a little bit late. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video and I will see you next time. Bye!